This is Andi Purewal of Boxing News. I'm joined by Dillian Whyte here in London. Dean, always a pleasure. Big fight week just about to be announced, but before we come on to that, how is you? How are you? Sorry, how is life?
I is good. You know, I mean, look at it, man. It's all good, man. We're here. We're just cracking on. We're at the Sion Park today, you know, to announce the big fight, man. It's, you know, it's a return, you know, revenge or repeat, as they say. So yeah, it's good time.
Joshua-Whyte 2 is obviously that fight you're referring to there when it comes to repeat or revenge. A lot of talk about this fight. When would it happen after their first bout? Are you surprised it's maybe taken this bit longer from when they first met as pros back in 2015?
Somewhat, yeah. Do you know, you would have thought that maybe it would have happened before, and I think they tried to make it before, and you know, I don't know, something happened. There was a stumbling block. Now it's happened. Obviously, both guys are now well into their career, well into their 30s, you know, coming into the tail end of their careers, you know. Dillian's, 35, Joshua's, 33, 34, something like that. So, I mean, both guys are now coming onto that. Obviously, people were looking at Joshua and obviously, you know, stating that, you know, he's finished, obviously, because of the 2 defeats. But there's no shame in losing to someone like Usyk. We know the pedigree. We know his ability. I feel Joshua handed himself more than good in the second fight and made those adaptations to kind of compete a little bit better. People were saying he's a little bit gun shy. I hear what they're saying, but you know, as you get smarter, you don't, you know, you want to get hit less. And heavyweight boxing, you don't want to get hit unnecessary or take too much damage. We know what it does to people. So he's being a bit smart. He wants to leave the sport with his faculties. And then obviously Dillian coming off, you know, he had a loss, then he came off the loss. He came back revenged against Povetkin, then obviously the loss to Fury, and then he's come back against Franklin. Everyone questioned Franklin, and Joshua's gone the distance with Franklin. Now people are questioning it, and I mean, it makes sense, because before they were trying to say that fight was going to happen before, but now it's happened, and obviously there was issues in terms of the purse, but Dillian said, you know, fuck all that, let's just get it done, I'll accept whatever you're offering. And he believes that this time he's catching Joshua at the right time. I look at it a little bit different, because I look at it, Joshua's got a gripe, you know, bone, a score to settle, and you know, he may believe that Dillian is the perfect man to bring out that better side of me, that side where, you know, there's that animosity, that anger, that desire to destroy. Maybe he hasn't had that needle. With Dillian, you know, Dillian always has, like, he catches up with a few guys, like some of the boxers, there seems to be clashes sometimes. So sometimes he brings out the best in these guys, you know what I mean? Because now they're riled up, they've got that bit between their teeth, and then they want to come out and try and prove the world, and, you know, so on and so forth. So I think Joshua believes Dillian's the man that's going to bring that old school spark back. So let's see what happens. But I mean, it's a great fight for both guys where they are. I mean, if Dillian makes the adjustments he's made, but the Dillian of 215 is not the Dillian of 2023. He's got so much experience, and that was the coming of Dillian Whyte. That was the making of Dillian Whyte. You know what I mean? The body snatcher. So, I mean, Joshua was the golden boy then, Olympian. You know, had it all, had the easy route in, and yet again, I think Dillian had to take what was given, and it's another situation where here, the same thing, take what you're given at this junction. But look, we understand Joshua is the golden boy, and Dillian needs to now set a good plan. He's got Buddy McGirt. I think this is going to be their second fight. You know, it's just about to see how they gel, how they mold, and hopefully they put a good game plan together. So you know, so he can get the win.
You mentioned kind of the critics of AJ, whether he's gun shy or not, and obviously both AJ and Dillian had their critics after their victories against Jermaine Franklin. Going into this one, we've spoken there about this being Dillian's second fight with Buddy McGirt. How much more of an improved performance does he have to show on what we saw against Jermaine Franklin if he's going to defeat Anthony Joshua?
I mean, I think we definitely need, because I shouldn't say, what we must understand, he was boxing towards a game plan. If you heard, it was Buddy McGirt kept saying, use your jab, go to the body. I believe once Dillian reverted back to his old self, letting his hands go, that's what won him that fight. He had to say, you know what, I get what you're trying to do, but that's not working. I mean, that's what a fighter is. You've got to know when to make that adaptation, when to say, you know what, I got to go for this because this is not working. So, and Jermaine Franklin, as we know, has got very fast hands, decent boxer, solid chin. You know, I mean, solid boxer all round, really. He gave AJ, you know, a good fight as well, and he was countering really well, took some good shots, as he was with Dillian. But I mean, look, this is boxing, man. I think Dillian always needs to keep improving, but I think the better thing for him was to be active. When you're active is when you're at your best, but at the same time, because of the money they command, it's going to be difficult for you to stay active because, you know what I mean, it's not everyone you're going to get that money from.
The first fight was obviously very engaging. We saw how aggressive both men wanted to be. We saw, I can't remember what, one of the earlier rounds when Dillian threw a punch after the bell. Everybody goes running into the ring as well. Do you expect it?
AJ actually threw
Sorry, AJ, my apologies, yeah.
Dillian then countered, and then obviously there was a melee where we all jumped in the ring. But hey, listen, man, this is cool. Now we're fast forward. We're a lot older, long in the tooth, long in the game and in the sport. All of us, you know what I mean. So we've evolved. Hopefully we'll see a little bit much more respect. I'm hoping. Hope because I mean these guys have coming from our culture. They've done it great. Coming from London, they've done good for for boxing, their culture, where they've come from, and they've gone on to make millions since then. You know what I mean? And become household name in the UK and across the world. So I mean, we've got to give both guys credit, and I hope that we have a much respected press conference with less, needle and just a bit more respect, and we just put it all in the ring, man, and just show that's where we want to be. You know what I mean? Give each other the respect they deserve.
Just with it when they are in the ring, obviously we saw what happened last time out. Do you expect it to be a very different type of fight, or do you expect them both to come to the centre of the ring at some point and stand off and see who is the last man standing?
I think there will be times where that is, but I think the smarter man makes the chess moves. I don't know what their game plan is. I've not been in Dillian's camp. I might go there at some stage, because obviously he's coming over now. We'll see what he does, and I'll see what they're up to. But I mean, I'm just a very busy man myself anyway, so I don't even have time for that. But I'm hoping. I speak to him. I've said my little bits to him to say what I think needs to be done in the areas where you need to make adjustments. And I think if you make certain adjustments, you will handle yourself and you'll be in a good position. Because look, we know what everyone's going to be looking for, man, in this. Everyone has an answer that, Dillian's Achilles heel. So we know he just needs to, make that adjustment. And Buddy's probably, been working on him defensively, and understanding where he needs to be in distance control and so on and so forth. So it's all about positioning. I hope Dillian works on that with his new coach and, gets that right on the night.
I've seen people question whether or not the loser retires on the back of this fight. Do you think it's as deep as that, the loser will step away from the sport?
Everyone from their couch says that, man. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. There's so much big fights for these guys, I think, there shouldn't be no shying away from the loser, because it's a very elite, high quality fight. Obviously, we're talking about Fury at the top, Wilder, Usyk, yes. But Deontay Wilder at this precise moment isn't a champion. Yes, we know he's that detonator in that right hand, but he isn't a champion. I understand he's working with Malik Scott, and Malik Scott seems very meticulous. He was a very good boxer, and I know they'll be working on certain steps and certain moves. And even just watching what they do, you can see they're trying to get him to be a little bit more of a boxer and positioning and set shots up, as opposed to just bomb squad and throwing that right hand and placing shots to make the angle to create the right hand. So I mean, it's all good. I think he's learning. He'll come back bigger and badder and stronger, Deontay Wilder. But I mean, there's some great fights there. Deontay Wilder obviously he's stated from the beginning he's not going to fight Dillian. He doesn't want to give him an opportunity or a payday. But if Dillian wins on August the 12th, then I don't know. He hasn't got to deal with Saudi, so who knows what their position and stance will be on that at that time. So, I mean, but the stance is very, very clear from Saudi. If Joshua loses, he doesn't have the fight. So, it's a tricky one.
You kind of answered my next question there. I was going to ask if Dillian's had any type of assurance, if he comes out on top, if he gets that fight with Deontay at the end of it.
No, I haven't had that conversation with him. Maybe he has. I couldn't answer that, but but I'm sure we'll find out. All will be revealed shortly.
Just on that, and to move away from this fight, Fury-Ngannou seems to be the talk now. Your thoughts on that?
Those guys are making money, man. Look, there's people making money outside of pro boxing and exhibition fights and crossover fights. It's great business, man. You know what I mean? If they can go and get more, these are the gladiators that put their life on the line and go in the ring and do it. They should make more of the money. So if they're able to put something together and go out there and make this happen and make the money, hey, I don't knock them, man. Fucking great fight, big, huge puncher against one of our best of our era. Don't think he stands a fucking chance, really. But obviously, if he clips him, actually, sometimes Fury, excuse me, he undermines some of the boxers and does get caught. But as we've seen, he always gets up. So it's going to be interesting. Depends if they do it in MMA gloves. They're going to do boxing in MMA gloves. That's a whole different kettle of fish, because when you're getting hit, regardless, on the arms, on the shoulders, on the chin, on the head, they're gone. You're going to feel them. So it's depending what kind of style they're going to do and what kind of gloves they're going to use.
Well, Dean, it's a pleasure as always. I know you're going to be a busy man tonight, so today, sorry. So thank you.
Thanks as always.